Welcome back to Beauty Marks Podcast, a space where we embrace marks acquired through our journey. My name is Elizabeth Savillon, and welcome to another episode of this podcast. So, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. I'm kidding. So, happy Thanksgiving week. It is a very exciting time for a lot of us, and honestly, most of us are already celebrating Christmas at this point. So, that is why I said Happy, Merry Christmas. For me, I already started decorating my house. For my family, they wait until literally the day after Thanksgiving to put up the tree. How does your family work? Is it like a Latino thing to start November 1st and already do the Christmas stuff, or do you wait until December 1st or right the day after Thanksgiving? Everyone does it a little bit different, but it is honestly the best time of the year, especially for me. Um, it is just, being around family and just events and the lights and the shows and just the whole ambiance of Christmas season is always just very exciting for me personally. So to start off the show, I wanted to share a low of the week that I didn't get to share last week because we had an interview and it was just, I really wanted to focus on that. And I hope you had a chance to listen to last week's interview. And if not, make sure to go tune in for that episode. So last week, I actually had a low that really like struck me, and I wrote about it on my Instagram. I said that I didn't get an opportunity that I was really hoping for. And it really felt like a chapter had closed. It was an opportunity of a work job that I was doing. And I did feel discouraged at the moment that it happened because I felt like how it all played out, it just made me feel like all my work that I had done like meant nothing. And I didn't feel like myself being like valued for the work that I was doing. And as I'm walking out of the meeting that I had, I was discouraged. And in that moment, though, I remembered what my pastor shared literally on Sunday about 2 Corinthians 5:7, which says, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." And for me in that moment, I literally thought, you know what? Like right now, this is very discouraging. And this is very not what I had expected. But I literally, in that moment, I was like, no, like I have trust in God that He's got me. And I literally said out loud, I said, God, you will provide for all my needs. God, may your favor and grace follow me wherever I go. God, I trust you fully, and I know my life is in your hands. I said, God, I know that you'll bring divine appointments and opportunities for my life, that you will open the right doors for me. I said, God, I know the plans that you have for me, and they are good, better than what I can imagine. At that moment, I didn't see how everything was going to work out, and it still hasn't yet. This just happened about a week and a half ago, and it's very just leaving me, on edge of what my next step is going to be. But I really do believe that our job is to truly trust in God and walk in faith. And that's literally not looking at our current circumstances, is looking at the reality of what we know that God can do, because He's done it before and He can do it again. So that is my low, but I felt like it ended up being something that I found encouragement in. And I shared it because I know that, people go through some discouraging times, and maybe what you see is not what you had imagined. Maybe you are discouraged, but in those moments, I feel like we always have two choices, because in that moment, my natural state of mind would be like, you know what, this sucks, like the stress, anxiety about what I'm going to do next, and just like start like the toxic cycle in my head of thinking bad about myself, like what did I do wrong, like all these things. But I really felt like right when that happened, I like literally took a deep breath in, deep breath out, and I said that out loud, and it was like a new pattern to start doing. And again, I'm not trying to make myself like a perfect Christian or that I'm so good or anything like that. Cause no, I have very real moments that I don't think that way. But I think that in that moment, it was kind of like, I want to start thinking that way whenever things really happen. Um, and, speak that into my life of even though I don't see that right now, I can speak it into existence. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And my high of the week was actually a gym win, which is so weird because, as you guys know, I have shared on here that I have a personal trainer. I've been going for 3 months now, and it's been really good for me to get my form, like do weightlifting. And I'm already seeing like, definition, and I'm starting to feel really good about myself, like health wise. And I did a higher rep and a higher weight of squats than normal, and I did like a wall sit for like a minute and 40 seconds. Like, what? This is not news that I ever really share. And I really like, I am not a gym rat or someone that shares about fitness like that. But it's been a journey for me. And I feel like gaining strength physically for me is also like a symbol for me, like gaining strength mentally and emotionally. And it all ties together, just how it's all worked out. So I want to share that with you guys. And as you guys know, this is like other parts of my life that I like to share as like being open and honest. And I hope you find some type of encouragement or, can relate in some type of way. And so, what we're going to be talking about this week is about, how it's Thanksgiving, it's gratitude. And you probably have heard that so many times already. And in this month, everyone talks about that, like being grateful. But I think that for me personally, because of 2020, with what happened and the rough year we all had, I feel like I picked up, especially this year, I tried to be more intentional about having a gratitude habit. So, like writing down in my notes, like 3 things that I'm grateful for per week. I definitely didn't do it every single day, but it was like every week I'd be, okay, I'm grateful for these 3 things. And it can be like as simple as like, I am grateful for breath in my lungs. I am grateful that I have my bed and I have clothes. And then I got to deeper things. Like, I'm so grateful for my mental health. And I'm grateful that I didn't cry today. And I'm grateful that, I feel good and I'm healthy. And I'm grateful for my friends, so it ranged in different ways that I was grateful for. And that really helped me throughout this year. And so when I think about, Thanksgiving Day, my family tradition is that we go around and we all share what we're grateful for. And definitely for this year in particular, for me, I am so, so, so grateful for my mental health and my mental state. And for those that haven't heard a little bit of like my story and what I've been through in the past like 2-3 years, the people that are closest to me, and even if you've been hearing and you've been along the ride in my podcast, that I've shared about being depressed and anxious and having disordered eating and just like having a rash all over my body that I didn't know was happening, and passing out in public and chronic migraines and just a lot of things that I dealt with personally that were very private. And now I'm able to talk about them very much more openly because I have worked through them. But this year was, even though I have done some work, and I've been more intentional, but this year, even I had a low during the summer, which I had shared. And it was like, it was a hard time. And I feel like I'm at such a much better place mentally and emotionally. And I just feel some type of just like more strength and like emotional maturity and being able to set boundaries and being able to say no and like just so much more like ownership of like myself. And those that have ever struggled with insecurity, people pleasing, codependency, um, just don't have boundaries. You know what I'm talking about. It's like completely like I'm starting to feel, I feel, not starting, I feel like I fully am in charge of my life in this moment, aside from God being, the one that leads my life, but me fully being like able to be vocal about things and set the boundaries and stick to them. And I'm very proud of myself for that. And so my mental state has gotten so much better because of that, and my therapy and all of that, my health. So all of those things I am so grateful for. And I'm so thankful because I know where I came from, what I went through, and I never want to go there again. And I have empathy for those that ever have gone through that, because I know how difficult it is to get out of a place you don't ever know how you're going to get out of. Like, if you have the courage to do that, like, I am cheering you on. And I say that from the bottom of my heart because I know how hard it is. So that would be the first thing that I am so grateful for. The second thing is definitely my family, my support group of friends, that I know that I can count on them. They are there to encourage and just have a good time and make life so much easier and lighter and brighter and funner. And that is really the team of people that I tell them, like, wherever God takes me to, like, y'all are all going with me, you know. And the third thing I would say is definitely this podcast. I am so grateful to each and every one of you that listen to this podcast. As simple as you're listening to my voice right now, I am grateful for you. And I am so thankful for this community. I am grateful for every comment, DM, anyone that has ever been honest and vulnerable with me, that has told me their story, that has shared personal things about them, that have been open, that have shared that, this has helped you in some way, this podcast, that have ever shared it with a friend or shared it online or left a review. Like, thank you. Like, you have no idea how much this podcast has helped me. Like, and I'm so grateful to this community because I know that it's so much bigger than me just sharing about me. Like, it's so much more than that because I know it's for such a bigger purpose. And I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And I see you and I notice who's like, like, who's my hype people. So I'm so grateful for you. And yeah, so that is definitely going to be my dinner grateful list, because God knows what he does, and I'm so grateful for that. But I feel like the main thing that around this time I always go back to and I always remember is just about the gift of being able to give and being able to care about someone else, like kindness and thinking about someone outside of yourself is just such a gift that you can give. Because when someone even acknowledges you, like as simple as like when someone opens the door for you or someone says like your name, like, hey, Elizabeth, or hey, whatever your name is, and acknowledges you, like how seen you feel and how important and thought about. And I feel like being kind, especially around this time of year, because people are going through it, even if it is the most wonderful time of the year, it's not like that for everyone. And I feel like just being able to give to others and thinking outside of yourself, because even the holidays, we think about our families, we think about the parties, like exactly what I just said, like about all the materialistic stuff, but also being around family and all this sort of stuff. But if you see someone in need, how much of a gift you can be for someone else to help them in a time of need. If you know someone that's struggling, if you can extend a prayer for someone or give to someone or just let them know that you're thinking about them during the season, it will go a long way. Or even, I'm telling you, the Starbucks, like, tell me who doesn't post on their social media when someone like buys them a drink. Like someone always feels so like that makes people's day. So those little acts of kindness that you can do, especially during these times, this time of the year, that I recommend you do. So like this week, I challenge you, like think outside, not only of your family or friends, like think outside of your immediate circle and do something kind for someone else. And I'm telling you, that is the best gift that you can give because it does so much more to your heart just to see someone else happy and see someone else smile and see someone else, you be like used, as a way to help someone else. So definitely encourage you in that, like how I said, holidays, as much as I love them, I know that they can be stressful. And for some people, they can be overwhelming. And in this season, especially right now, because I'm in the middle of planning an event that's literally 2 days after Thanksgiving, I completely understand. I am with you. And I am literally telling myself, like, I am learning to rest and be present and just enjoy this time of the year. As much as we like to plan and have everything perfect and all these things, like we can literally miss a whole event. And you know what I'm talking about. Like when you're so in your mind about things that you can be there, but you're not there, like you're mentally not where you're physically at. And so I encourage you to literally try to be present and be present with your loved ones, be present with the people that you care about, be present and enjoy, like literally like take it all in, like soak it all in what's happening. And that's really what I'm hoping for this week, as it is realistically, it's a lot going on this week, but I am challenging my own self to just literally take it, enjoy it, be there mentally and physically, both together. Um, and something else is setting boundaries during the holidays. Don't overcommit yourself. I'm telling you, that is what will make you feel even more stressed during the holidays than enjoying it. Like, look at your calendar, and if you cannot do something, don't commit yourself to something that you know you're not going to be able to do to try to make someone else happy. Like, no, if you can't, you can't. And you can make it up another way or figure out another time that works best. And setting those boundaries is so important. If you haven't listened to my boundaries episode on boundaries with family and boundaries with friends and learning what you need to say and how to manage it, I will put the link in the show notes so that you can check out that one, because that was a really, really good episode, and that you can practice those boundaries. But I did do a poll on Instagram wanting to know what people really love, especially during the holidays. And most people love Christmas time over Thanksgiving, which is not really a surprise. Christmas time in general is just amazing. But holiday traditions that I usually have, and I asked on Instagram as well, what are your traditions? And my personal holiday traditions are that we usually have dinner on the 24th. We get all dressed up. And then we, in the past, have gone to a show, like a light show. And they have acrobats and all this stuff. And it's really, really nice. And then we come back and, open one present on the 24th, and the rest we do on the 25th in matching pajamas. And we do a big breakfast and games, and we watch movies, and it's a really nice time with all of us. And this year it will be our last Christmas of just us six, meaning my niece is going to come in January. So literally next year it's going to be all about the niece, literally. So really excited about that. And the traditions that you guys shared was that people said breakfast with family, putting up the nativity together, matching PJs. That's like a favorite thing. And then taking family pictures, which I love them. Honestly, if you share with your family those holiday pictures, I will hype you up, because I love those beautiful pictures that people take around this time, even with Santa or in with all the trees around and all of that. It's really pretty. And then other traditions is tree show at Disney Springs, light up UCF if you're from Orlando area. And then gingerbread houses, making tamales with the family. Ooh. So a lot of people have those traditions. And what people share with food around the holidays, I shared my favorite things were flan, coquito, potato salad, tamales, fritura, like empanadas and croquetas and all of that. I love them. Pretty much all the carbs on the holidays is my favorite. And what other people said was they love turkey around this time of year, apple pie, pumpkin pie, rice with bacon. Ooh, that sounds good. And then arroz con dulce. And I know there's also arroz con leche. I wonder if that's the same thing. But we had a few people say those things. And so that all sounds good. Honestly, I'm just fully excited about this week and then even pretty much the whole month of December. But even though I am talking about the good stuff of the holidays, I do not want to dismiss that for some people, this time of the year is not the best. So I really want to send some love to those people that are grieving a loss during the holidays, trying to hold it all together because it might feel overwhelming. Miss family and friends, or maybe you're alone, you're isolated. During the holidays, you don't have anyone to hang out with for the holidays, are struggling financially, when you're seeing all these people buy all these things and all of this, and you're struggling mentally and physically, or you have a dysfunctional family and you dread the holidays. And I know that some people, that is their reality. And I know that it can be difficult. And I am sending lots of love and prayers your way. And just really, that always reminds me that to check on those around you. What I was saying in the beginning, be kind to others around you, and you don't know what the kind gesture that you do can make for someone else and how that can make their day or their week. So the last thought of the day that I want to leave you guys with, just a reminder, pretty much what I said this episode is to be present, be in the moment of what you're experiencing and living with, and tell those around you how much you love them and how grateful you are for them. Send those intentional messages to people and remind those around you how much they mean to you. So I'm very excited for this week. It is going to be a long week, but it's going to be a great week. I have family coming in from out of town. I have Thanksgiving, and then my parents' 30th anniversary renewal wedding. So it's literally like a whole wedding, and it is going to be beautiful, and seeing a lot of family and friends that I haven't seen in a very long time, since before COVID. So I'm very excited about that, and just really going to celebrate my parents. And I might have my parents on here for a later episode talking about their relationship and just sharing, because they have made it to 30 years. Hasn't been easy at all, but I know that through God's grace, it has got them here. And this week it's all about celebrating with family, and I hope you enjoy with your family, that you spend time with them, that you eat great food, enjoy yourselves, rest, take a day off if you haven't, and even go, rest, enjoy yourself. And do not forget to subscribe to this podcast, share it with a friend, make sure to leave a review if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.